Good morning, students. This is Anjali. Today we are going to discuss about the outcome-based education. Nowadays, every higher education institutions are using the outcome-based education, and these outcome-based education generally are classified into the categories, into two categories by the NBA. First categories, there are some institutions like IITs, NITs, central universities, state universities, and autonomous institutions are included. And in second categories, institutions consist of affiliated colleges of universities. Now, we will see one by one what is OBE. Actually, the OBE is outcome-based education is system where all the parts aspect of education are focused on the outcome of the course. That means what will be the outcome of the course. These things, on this basis, this outcome OBE is totally based, and it focuses on the measuring student performance. That means outcomes at different levels. Generally, the students take up courses with a certain goal of developing the skill, or we can say that gaining the knowledge, and they have to complete the goal by end of the course. Actually, there is a specific style or time limit of the learning. The student can learn as per their choice. The generally faculty members, then moderators, instructors guide the student based on the target outcomes. OBE itself is not actually the teaching style or method, but actually it is a principle for designing your teaching in effective way that enables learning happen and helps students to achieve the intended learning outcomes. Therefore, what matters most in OBE is what is learned rather than what is taught. So why we need the OBE? The international recognition and there are international recognition and the global employment opportunities. More employable and innovative graduates with professional and soft skills, social responsibilities and ethics. Then if you will use the OBE, then it will be visibility, it will give the visibility and reputation of the technical institution among the stakeholders. It will help to improve the commitment and involvement of the stakeholders. Now, there are some benefits of the OBE. First one is the clarity. Actually, it brings the clarity among the teachers and the students. Then second one is the flexibility. Every student has the flexibility and freedom of learning in their ways. Then comparison. The OBE can be compared across the individual, class, batch, program and institute level. Then involvement. Generally, students are expected to do their own learning. Increased student involvement allows them to feel responsible for their own learning, and they should learn more through this individual learning. Now, there are some characteristics of OBE curriculum. First one is that it has program aims, program learning outcomes, course learning outcomes and performance indicator. Then second one is that it is the objective and outcome driven, where every stated objective and outcomes can be assessed and evaluated. Then third one is that it is centered around the needs of the student and stakeholders. Then fourth one is that every learning outcome is intentional, and therefore the outcomes must be assessed using suitable performance indicator. Then fifth one is that enabling graduates to excel in their profession and accomplish greater heights in their careers. And the sixth one is that preparing graduates for the leadership positions and challenging them and making them aware of the opportunities in the technology development. Now, faculty members are referred to as change of agents in the OBE. So, first one is that teaching will become a far more creative and innovative the career. Then faculty members will no longer feel the pressure of having to be the source of all knowledge. Then third one is that the faculty members shape the thinking and vision of the student towards the course. Then there are four levels of outcomes from the OBER. First one is PEOs, that is program educational objectives. Then second one is that POs, program outcomes. Then third one is that PSOs, program specific outcomes. Then COs, course outcomes. There are some important aspects of the OBE. First one is course. Actually, course is defined as the theory, practical or theory cum practical subject studied in semester. Like for example, engineering mathematics, this is your course. So, course means that subject will contain some type of the theory, practical and theory with the practical. Then second one is the course outcome, that is CO. Course outcome are the statements that describe the significant and essential learning that learners have achieved and can reliably demonstrate at the end of the course. Then third one is the program. Program is defined as the specialization or discipline of the degree. Actually, it is interconnected arrangement of the courses, then co-curricular and extracurricular activities to accomplish the predetermined objectives which are leading to the awarding of the degree. For example, marine engineering. So these are your programs. Then there are some program outcomes. Program outcomes are narrow statement that describe what students are expected to be able to do by the time of the graduation. And these are expected to be aligned closely with graduate attributes. There are some program outcomes that like engineering knowledge, problem analysis, design development of solution, conduct the investigation of the complex problem, then modern tool uses, the engineer and the society, environment and sustainability, then ethics, individual and team works, communication, project management and finance, lifelong learning. Then program educational objectives. The program educational objectives of program are statements that describe the expected achievement of the graduates in their career and also in particular what the graduates are expected to perform and achieve during the first few years after graduation. Then sixth one is program specific outcomes. Program specific outcomes are what the student should be able to do at the time of the graduation with reference to the specific discipline. Then next one is the graduate attributes. Graduate attributes dwell in a number of examples of the attributes expected of graduate from an accredited program. Then Bloom's level for COs. Bloom's L1 to L4 for theory courses, Bloom's L1 to L5 for laboratory courses and Bloom's L1 to L6 for mini project and the main project. Now Bloom's taxonomy. The Bloom's taxonomy is considered as a global language for the education. It is frequently used by teachers in writing the course outcomes as it provides the ready-made structure and list of the action verbs. By utilizing Bloom's taxonomy, students are not going to forget the information as soon as the class ends. Rather, they retain and apply the information as they continue to grow as a student and in their career, staying one step ahead of the competition. Here is the revised Bloom's document with action verb which we frequently refer to while writing COs for our courses. There are levels of assessment of outcomes based on the Bloom's taxonomy. First one, remember, then understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. First one is remember. It is the process of collecting the knowledge acquired so far. It will contain the define, list, duplicate, repeat, and state. Then understand. It is trying to make the sense with the materials gathered, like classify, describe, discuss, explain, recognize. Then apply. Applying the gained knowledge in possible new ways. Execute, implement, solve. Breaking, then analyze, breaking open and concept into parts and try drawing connections among them. Differentiate, organize, relate, compare, contrast. Then evaluate, drawing the judgment in line with a set of the guidelines. And last one is the create, coming up with new or original work. Now there is a vision and mission. The vision is that the vision of the department is to produce the competent graduates suitable for industries and organizations at global level, including research and development with social responsibility. And the mission is that to provide an open environment to foster a professional and personal growth with strong theoretical and practical background, having an emphasis on hardware and software development, making the graduates industry ready with social ethics. Further, the department is to provide training and to partner with global entities in education and research. The course title is Statistical Foundation of Data Science and the course code is ACAC07. Course prerequisites are BTech AHSC02, that is Linear Algebra and Calculus, and BTech AHSC08, Probability and Statistics. Now course overview. The course is designed to introduce to the basics of the data science, graphics and modeling. Topics covered include flavors of data, basic mathematics, probability and statistics, and data visualization. The main objective of the course is to teach the range of the topics and concepts related to data science process. This course reaches to students by PowerPoint presentation, lecture notes and lab, which will give you the chance to apply knowledge of data science process. Now there are some course objectives. The students will try to learn the fundamental knowledge on the basis of data science. The students will try to learn the basic principles of data acquisition, exploring and modeling data efficiently. The students will try to learn the foundations of probability and statistics for data science. And the last one is the students will try to learn the current scope, potential applications of the data science. The course outcomes are: first, CO1. Define the different types of data with different levels and steps of the data science. The first CO1 will explain the all type of data. It will explain some levels of the data science which are very important for the for analysis of the data, and its Bloom's taxonomy is the remember. Then CO2 demonstrate the data pre-processing terms like data cleaning, data integration with feature selection algorithms like filters and wrappers. Then its Bloom's taxonomy is the understand. Then CO3 solve the mathematics and probability problems using the methods like set theory, linear algebra and Bayes theorem. It is containing the apply. Then for CO4 make use of sampling for obtaining data. Then use the measures of statistics to quantify and visualize our data. Bloom's taxonomy is the apply. Then CO5 interpret different ways of the communication through visualization such as effective and ineffective types, various charts and graph. Its Bloom's taxonomy is again understand. Then CO6 is that summarize the concept of verbal communication by presenting different communication strategies. Its Bloom's taxonomy is understand. Now there are 5 models. flavors of data, data pre-processing and feature selection, basic mathematics and probability for data science, statistics for data science, and the communicating data. In flavors of data, generally it will contain the some different types of the data, then levels of the data, data pre-processing and feature selection. It will contain some algorithms, it will contain some data pre-processing techniques like data cleaning, data integration, and all. Then basic mathematics and probability for data science, it will contain some vectors, matrix, and probability. Then statistics for data science, then it will contain the some chi-square test, hypothesis, and all. Then communicating data will contain different types of the communication presenting skill. So all these about the five models. Then detailing of the program outcomes. First one is the engineering knowledge. Engineering knowledge, the apply the knowledge of mathematics, science, and science, engineering fundamental and engineering specialization to the solution of complex engineering. Then second one is problem analysis. Identify, formulate, review research literature, and analyze complex engineering problems, reaching a substantiated conclusion using the first principle of mathematics and natural sciences and engineering science. Then next one is design development of solution. Design solution for complex engineering and problems and design system components or process that meet the specified needs with appropriate consideration for the public health and safety and the cultural, social, and environmental consideration. Then next one is the conduct investigation of complex problems. Use research based knowledge and research methods including design of experiment, analysis and interpretation of data, and synthesis of the information to provide valid conclusions. Modern tool uses create, select, and apply appropriate techniques, resources, and modern engineering and it tools, including prediction and modeling to complex engineering activities with an understanding of the limitations. The engineering and society apply reasoning informed by the contextual knowledge to assess social health, safety, legal, and cultural issues and the consequent responsibilities relevant to the professional engineer. Then environment and sustainability. Understand the impact of professional engineering solutions in social and environment context and demonstrate the knowledge of and need for the sustainable development engineering practice. Then ethics. Apply ethical principles and commit to professional ethics and responsibilities and norms of the engineering practice. Then individual and teamwork. Function effectively as an individual and as member or leader in diverse team and in multidisciplinary settings. Then communication. Communicate effectively on complex engineering activities with the engineering community and with society at large, such as being able to comprehend and write effective reports and design documentation, make effective presentations, and give and receive the clear instructions. Then project management and finance. Demonstrate knowledge and understanding of the engineering management principles and apply these to one's own work as a member and leader in a team to manage projects and in multidisciplinary environments. Lifelong learning. Recognize the need for and having the preparation and ability to engage the independent and lifelong learning in broadcast context of technological change. Now there are the PUs. PU1 is that students will establish themselves as effective professionals by solving real problems through the use of the computer science knowledge and with the attention to teamwork, effective communication, critical thinking, and the problem solving skill. Then PEO2, students will develop professional skills that prepare them for immediate employment and for lifelong learning in advanced areas of computer science and related fields. Then PO3, students will demonstrate their ability to adapt to a rapidly changing environment by having learned and applied new skills and new technologies. PO4, students will be provided with an educational foundation that prepares them for excellence, leadership roles along diverse career paths with encouragement to professional ethics and active participation needed for a successful career. Now, PSOs. The PSOs are statements that describe what the graduates of the specific engineering problem should be able to do, and a list of PSOs written for the Department of Computer Science Engineering is given below. The PSO 1 is that understand, design and analyze the computer program in the areas which are related to algorithms, then system software, web design, big data, artificial intelligence, machine learning and the networking. Then PSO 2, focus on improving software reliability, network security and information retrieval system. Then PSO 3, make use of modern computer tools for creating innovative career paths to be an entrepreneur and desire for higher studies. Now, course outcome have three major categories. Actually, they specify an action by the students or learner that is observable. Then, second one is that the action by students or learner that is measurable. And third one is that specify action that is done by the students or learner rather than the faculty members. Effectively developed expected learning outcome statement should possess all three these characteristics, that is observable, measurable and the action can taken by the student and learner also and the faculty members also. And when this is done, the expected learning outcomes for course are designed so that they can be assessed. When stating expected learning outcomes, it is important to use verbs that describe exactly what the students or learners will be able to do upon completion of the course. Now there is a relationship of course outcomes to program outcomes. The course outcomes need to link the program outcomes. Use the following learning outcomes formula, that is students should be able to plus behavior and the resulting evidence. For example, you can use the following template to help you write appropriate course level learning outcomes. Upon completion of this course, students will be able to knowledge, concept, rule or skill you expect them to require by how will they apply the knowledge or skill, how will you assess the learning. Now there are methods for articulation. First, you have to identify the key competencies of the PSOs to each CO and then make them a corresponding mapping table with assigning the right mark at the corresponding cell. Once the observation to be noted is that first 5 POs are purely technical in the nature and while the other POs are non-technical. Justify each CO, PO, PSOs mapping with the justification statement and recognize the number of the vital features mentioned in justification statement that are matching with the given key attributes for assessing program outcomes. Now make the table with number of key competencies for COs, POCOs mapping with reference to the maximum given key attributes for assessing the program outcomes. Then you have to identify and you have to observe some first 5 POs and some 5 POs and that POs are the technical in nature and another POs are the non-technical in nature. Now make the table with percentage of key competencies, PO, PSOs mapping with the reference to the maximum given key attributes for assessing program outcomes. Finally, course articulation matrix is prepared with the COs, POs, COs and PSOs on the scale of 0 to 3 and 0 being no correlation, that is marked with the dash underscore, and 1 being low or slight correlation and 2 being medium moderate correlation and 3 is substantial high correlation based on the following strategy. If it's containing the 0, that means 0 less than or equal to C less than or equal to 5, that means the no correlation. If it's showing the 1, that means 5 less than C, less than or equal to 40%, that is low or slight. Then second, 40% less than or less than C, less than 60%, that is moderate. And third one is the 60% less than or equal to C, less than 100% substantial or high. Now there are the different assessment. The term assessment refers to the wide variety of methods or tools that educators use to evaluate, measure, and document the academic readiness, learning progress, skill acquisition, or educational needs of the students. There are different types of the assessment: diagnostic assessment, formative assessment, summative assessment, norm referenced assessment, criterion reference assessment, and the intern benchmark assessment. First, the diagnostic assessment assesses a student's strengths, weakness, knowledge, and skill, provide the instruction baseline to work from. Then formative assessment is showing that the assess student performance during the instruction and usually occurs regularly throughout the instruction process. Then summative assessment measures a student achievement at the end of the instruction. Non-referenced assessment compares the student performance against other student. Criterion reference assessment measures a student performance against goal, specific, objective, or standard. Then interim benchmark assessment evaluates student performance at periodical interval frequently at the end of the grading period. So we can predict the student performance on end of the year summative assessment. And another way to think about it, that is bar graph growth through the year. Now there are the action verb, levels of learning and the action verb. First one is the remembering. Remembering, it is recognizing, recalling, describing, listing. Second one is the understanding. Understanding is understanding containing the some verb like interpreting, exemplifying, classifying, summarizing, inferring, comparing, and explaining. Then applying have some action verb, that is executing, implementing, classifying, calculating, constructing, analyzing, then differentiating, organizing, attributing, comparing, outlining. These action verbs have available with the analyzing. Then evaluating, evaluate containing the some verb, that is checking, critiquing, assessing, concluding, and the creating. Creating have some verb generating, producing, and composing. Now how program specific outcomes are assessed. First, PSO1, that is build skills to develop the software application in specialized areas of CSE such as artificial intelligence, then machine learning, data science, web development, gaming, augmented reality, and virtual reality. PSO2, focus on exploring supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning and apply them to range of the AI problem. Then PSO3, make use of AI and ML techniques for industrial applications in the areas of autonomous systems, IoT, cloud computing, robotics, natural language processing, and emerging areas. So now we will conclude our topic, that is education makes you better person and teaches you various skills. It enhances your intellect and ability to make rational decisions. It enhances the individual growth of person. Education also improves the economic growth of the country. OBE is educational approach which is considered in planning, implementing, and evaluation of curricula rather an event occurring in the curricula. It promises high level of learning for all students based on achievement of the clearly unambiguous outcomes with the consideration to the appropriateness of each learner's development level and assuring active and experienced based learning, and it provides the learner with the destination of the educational journey before the voyaging. This is all about the outcome based education. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.